TGC Requiem. We are back with Green Black Elves. Just playing the weirdest league. Bunch of. It's just the way it goes sometimes. It's fine. I think we're going to keep this. But we've just been playing a bunch of non-tier decks. None of this green red Tron stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, we get to actually see how this sideboard plan works. Scrying. Maybe a few too many pieces of land here. So if he drops Karn, we're in trouble. Because the presumption would be he attacks Archdruid, we drop another Archdruid, probably kills that Archdruid. If he goes for Wormcoil Engine, we're in a significantly better spot. Oblivion Stone hurts. So we kind of are in a position. We could play Mystic. We're just walking into Oblivion Stone though. I don't think our odds of winning if we run everything out at it is very good right now. Let me think this through. So, if he goes to Oblivion Stone and we regenerate, though, that protects. Alright, so if we run Izuri out, we can protect all of our elves, right? All of them except for Izuri. Which I think we can do, because then that leads us to being able to get some good beats in there. Okay, so we can throw down Archdruid, attack for 9. That puts us out of Pyroclasm range as well. I mean, if he has Ugin, we're kind of done anyway. No point in going any further than that. Or if he has another Oblivion Stone. Oblivion Stone or Ugin is going to get us. Nulamog could do some work against us. Speak of the devil. Okay, so he's going to attack, milling us 20. If we court for a shaman, that drains him 3. Down to 8. The difference is we don't get to it. So, yeah, so we've got to play shaman now. Allows us to attack for 5. Got 2 attack cycles. So we can court for Dwynen's Elite, which would do 8 damage depending on what our opponent does next turn. Here comes the Clasm. That ought to do it. So if we were to draw into a Dwynen's Elite, Heritage Druid does us the best. Nettle Sentinel could chain with some stuff. Really, we need Lead the Stampede. I think Heritage Druid is going to actually be the best we can do, and that means it probably does little to nothing. Alright, so sideboard. Game plan against Tron is we're going to bring in the Leyline of Vitality. These are to fight Pyroclasm. Pulling Collect a Company. We're bringing in 3 Beast Within. Cut a Shaman. 2 Visionaries. The Elvish Champion. Cut the cord. And then we have a choice of whether or not we want to bring in Memoricide to proactively go at something on their deck, primarily Ugin. We can bring in Damping Matrix, I just don't actually think it's all that effective. We're on the play. So we're looking for either Beast Within or Leyline of Vitality. So Leyline gives us a good start. Nykthos is actually going to be a really good draw here with Leyline of Vitality. If we get any of our, like a Lead the Stampede sort of explosive card, we're in good shape, and we have Visionary to kind of rock with it. So we will keep this. Looks like he's keeping 6. Oh, yes. Okay. So we will play it like that. So right now we're up to 4 mana. The reason we cut Elvish Visionary over Dwynen's Elite here is Dwynen's Elite stays alive through Pyroclasm. worst he can do next turn is Pyroclasm. Which to me means we want to be activating Nykthos for a bunch, so we can play as much as possible. One, two, three, four, five, six. We could activate 4 right now. And I think that's what we gotta do. If we go any further, we lose our ability to actually and if we can get a Lord, yes. Alright, so now everything's out of Pyroclasm range. Once we cast this Lord. Just how we drew it up. And we have the ability to attack for 5, 10, 15, 21 next turn. So he can stay alive by 1 if he blocked a 3, but he didn't, so. Alright, so we'll be in the draw, game 3. Memoricide might be a little more appealing here on the draw. I think we're actually going to cut a shaman to bring a cord in, but that's it. So a couple things. Again, we're kind of looking for Leyline or Beast Within in our opening hand. The flip side is this is a very aggressive hand. Opening with Nettle Sentinel into Dwynen's Elite. Heritage Druid really sets the deck off. We've got 3 land. It's not interactive enough. I think we still have to mulligan this. Yeah, so we'll keep that. Exact same hand except with a Leyline. I think we still have to keep this on top as much as we'd like. Yeah, because we need to get that third mana. Just want to start getting beats going though. On turn 3 Tron. Never ideal. What else can we chord for here? Right now we could chord for 1. I don't think that's what we want to do. Fortunately, it may lead into Karn chord for 0. Exile. Alright, so he's going to go for the Pyroclasm, and this is fine. This is why we're playing the Dwynen's Elite Nettle Sentinel with the Leyline of Vitality. The goal here is to keep beats going after the first Pyroclasm. This is the game plan. Oh, unfortunately not having that. So if I had gone for another Nettle Sentinel, which was a consideration, well, at least we'd be attacking for 6. Beyond that, there's not a whole lot more to do or say here. If he gets to Yugen, we're done. Either way, we shake it. So no Yugen this turn. It's going to go look for Eye of Ugin, yep. So actually, a land would be pretty good right now, or Heritage Druid to get this Archdruid on the battlefield. Well, this is disappointing. Sometimes it's just the way the cookie crumbles. I definitely should have courted for that other Nettle Sentinel. Hindsight, though. It wouldn't have really made much of a difference. So presuming he uses this turn to go get something with I. Oh, blasted. So I didn't actually even go get anything with Ivug that turn. That's extraordinarily bizarre. Maybe just a newer player. Getting some help on this one. If we can draw a land. Well, we run up to 19 lands, we do all these things. I mean, I might as well just concede the game. Cripes. I mean, I suppose we could chord for 0 at end step at this point. Really, our only hope is he doesn't take both forest. That developed 3 turns ago. So we do have 3 attacks. Every single one of them towers, huh? Highland. Can't chord for anything. I'm trying to think what our best outs are here. I mean, we can only take 1 more Ulamog attack before he mills us. Yeah, man. And if I had chorded for Nettle Sentinel, I wonder how many more attacks I would have gotten in. Probably not a lot, really. Emrak. Please tell me you did not keep Emrakul in. Okay. Another Ulamog. Why don't you go ahead and cast him? Alright, so that is a loss. I feel like our game plan went well. We just didn't draw well. We drew all the top end. We try and keep the we try and keep a lot of the lower part of the curve, the 16 beaters in there, because we're hoping that with Leyline of Vitality we just run into enough of those. It's possible we may only want to run 3 Leyline. Right now I feel like 4 because we really want to draw it. Against Pyroclasm is really our only way to survive it. We didn't end up playing Memoricide, which I think is probably the right thing. I don't think it's really that effective. The reason I don't like Memoricide against Tron is for the following reason. If I hit their Ugins, they're going to Oblivion Stone me. If I hit their Oblivion Stone me, they're going to Ugin me. You know, if we go after Pyroclasm, they can Ugin or Oblivion Stone. And if for some reason, you know, and you're trying to miss these things, right? But then what if they just go get Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, because he is pretty good against us as well. So they come down as early as turn 4. What we end up being in is the situation where we have like 4 Pyroclasm, 3 to 4 Oblivion Stone, and 2 to 3 Ugin plus 1 to 2 Ulamog, which is basically a quarter of their deck. And they're all like 1 or 2 ofs, except for Pyroclasm and maybe Oblivion Stone. And so I think the better approach is, you know, trying to hit their lands and or just staying outside of Pyroclasm range and hoping to combo off before they get into one of the other guys. So, you know, and the fact that they do exile and or destroy is, it makes a card like, in my opinion, Golgari Charm weaker, because Golgari Charm only works against 2 of those cards. You know, the other 2 are exiling, so it does nothing in that. So, anywho, also Golgari Charm, at least for this, in my opinion, isn't that great, because if you're playing against, trying to use it against other decks like Wrath of God and, or running Wrath of God and Damnation, you can't regenerate anyway. So, sure, they could be running Supreme Verdict, but Supreme Verdict's less popular than Wrath of God and Damnation in Modern because of the anti-regenerate clause. So anyway, I feel like we did the right things there. We just kind of drew poorly. Definitely made a mistake in, at least I feel like it was probably a mistake to not cord for the Nettle Sentinel then. Could have thought about the fact that, you know, what would have happened if they Pyroclasmed him. We would have had 6 damage on board versus 4. I don't think we get there with that anyway because of how the draws worked out, but sometimes that's just the breaks. Again, looking at this, we have one more match here before this league's over, but if we look at the Leyline situation, it's possible 3 is the right number because you want to kind of maximize your having it in the opening hand but don't want to draw it again. 2 is still pretty good sometimes, and so I don't know, I'm going with 4 for now. You know, just because you're running 4 of something doesn't mean you're going to see it a bunch in your extra draws. You may, but we'll just have to see. It's a feel thing. So, anywho, hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll get the 5th match of this sub 500 league up soon.